What's going on, Jerome's NFL Divisional Round is upon us. Unfortunately, the Minnesota Fighting Vikings aren't among the final 8, but I've always said that the Divisional Round is my favorite weekend of the NFL calendar because you got great games, 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday, and you got the 1 seeds and teams that have already won a playoff game. So you're going to have some legitimate competition, and we'll try and make a jelly bean or two. Just try and dry these tears. So Saturday, everyone's darling Jacksonville Duval coming back from 27 points down against the Chargers because the Chargers chargered. And I understand that Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence, this is going to work out well going forward. And Jacksonville can be opportunistic on defense. They can get after the quarterback, but I think the Chiefs are just a juggernaut, man. I think that Mahomes is this year's MVP. I think that they're primed to win another Super Bowl, and I do think that Kansas City, whether they have to play at a neutral site in the AFC title game or whatever, I do think that Andy Reid and Jerick McKinnon is going to bring the heat, and I do think that maybe Trevor Lawrence shouldn't have said what he said about Arrowhead, because Arrowhead is loud, man. I mean, I understand you're just trying to hype up Duval, but nah, don't mess with it, right? So I think Kansas City covers a 9. I think that Kansas City whoops somebody's ass. I think this is going to be like a 40-22 type game. So give me the Chiefs covering the 9. Even though I don't like laying a lot of big points, I think that Kansas City is just primed and ready to go. The other 1 seed, Philly, allegedly is going to be hosting the Giants, allegedly, in a NFC East rematch. So, I mean, the Eagles come in as 8-point favorites, and the Giants have all that momentum after the Vikings' alleged win. Yeah, but I think that this is going to be a case of emotional letdowns where the Giants, I mean, they played their Super Bowl, they played their hearts out, and respect, they won the game. Daniel Jones, I think, comes crashing back down to earth. I think that the Eagles are fully healthy and revved up, ready to go. I think that Jalen Hurts shows why he was an MVP candidate before he got injured. I think that the Eagles just completely mushroom stamp the Giants, and I think that they do cover by 10. I think this is going to be like a 38 and a 24 type game. I think the Giants do catch up and get some points in garbage time, but yeah, give me Philly to cover. So, I mean, we're taking both the 1 seeds to cover some large numbers, but is what it is. Sunday game, so you got Cincy at Buffalo. So this, of course, is the Damar Hamlin game, and Cincy's coming in with a lot of injuries. Jonah Williams went down, also a bunch of other offensive line issues for Cincy, but it's still Joe Burrow, right? But Buffalo, I mean, Buffalo is still pretty hyped, even though they barely survived against the Dolphins at home in the wild card round. But I think this is going to be a spot where Cincy, they won a very tight emotional game against the Ravens at home. And I think the Bills just have a little bit of magic. And even though the Vikings are out, well, now that the Vikings are out, rather, I think I'm rooting for the Bills, even though I think Kansas City is probably going to win the Super Bowl. But Buffalo, I think that they get right. I think that they get after Joe Burrow. And I think that they end up covering, end up winning by a touchdown. So, I mean, we're fading some rather large numbers here, but it sort of is what it is. Last of the divisional round games. So, you got Dallas, fresh off their ass whooping of the Buccaneers, facing the Niners, fresh off their ass whooping of the Seahawks. And I kind of feel like this is a collision course. San Francisco, I think, is going to win the NFC. I think they'll go into Philly and win. But the question is, do they cover more than 4 points here? I kind of think they do. I think Dallas sort of shot their wad against Tampa Bay. I think that this San Francisco defense will get after Dak. I think they'll corral Tony Pollard, and I think that Brock Purdy will do enough. I think that McCaffrey and Debo and Kittle will carve things up against Dallas. So give me San Francisco. So I mean, we're taking all the favorites and we're fading the points. So this is super dangerous, again, for entertainment purposes only. But that's what we're rolling with. We're going Kansas City covering the 9 against Jacksonville, Philly covering the 8 against the Giants, Buffalo covering the 5.5, winning by a touchdown against Cincy at home, and then the Niners covering the 4 points. So, we're taking all the home teams too. What could go wrong? Anyways, let us know your thoughts and our thoughts. Divisional round picks, again, entertainment purposes only. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skull Production Value.